So last night we saw Colter Wall and a bluegrass folk gospel duo called the Local Honeys opened for him.
Yeah.
And we could go in order of who played. We could start with Local Honeys. I had never heard of them before. I don't think you had or Jay had. Yeah. And when they came on, they can belt it out. They have amazing voices, and they're like very, they're Kentucky coal miner girls, and that's what they kind of. Well, one says she's from Kentucky, the other one's from Carolina or something. I can't remember what it is exactly, but
they had thick Southern drawls, and they talked about how they went to college for bluegrass, which is badass.
And they're like the first girls to graduate in that class or whatever, or that kind of area.
And then they just fucking shredded.
Yeah. The one was the shorter one. I feel bad for not knowing their names, but she just shred on the fiddle and guitar. The other one was banjo and guitar, and they were amazing.
And harmonized, and it was just really, really good. And we're both big fans of bluegrass. We don't get to see it that often because people just don't usually play that type of music.
Like the closest is when the few times we get to go see like Turnpike.
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen a handful of small bluegrass bands
like
around
Wheelhouse.
here. Yeah, but you don't get to hear it that often, and it's just a really neat sound. And so they were
and the fact that much sound came from two people I mean, just like how moving on to Colter Wall, having that much sound come from one guy on a guitar.
Oh my god!
Seeing him do that solo set, like Colter Wall, he's one that I don't listen to too often recorded. Like if his songs come on, I listen to him obviously, but I don't go out of my way to listen to Colter Wall. But like just because like his recording, it's fine. He's good. He's a really good voice and everything. But him live is just.
Yeah, I've been
otherworldly.
As soon as the last album that came out, this is self-titled. As soon as that came out, I was really obsessed with it, and I've been listening to him a lot. I have a playlist that's just him and Tyler Childers because I get obsessed with them both often, so I just put them together in a playlist.
Yeah.
And I always was really excited and wanted to see him live, but yeah, seriously, he's even better live. Like I really love his sound, and I think it's ridiculous that voice is coming from him because he's a young guy and he's not a 7 foot tall big burly man holding an axe. It's like, wait, what the fuck?
He's and he was so chill and so nice, just casually walking through the crowd before the concert. Like how many concerts have we ever been to where you don't even see the artist before they go on stage because they're just hiding in the green room?
And he was just chilling in the crowd, watching the Local Honeys, and then we went up to him and bugged him and got a picture. And
and then like before, like as we were walking in, he's just outside smoking a cigarette, just chilling out there, talking to one of the singers of the Local Honeys, like not even being bothered by people. He's just out there smoking a cigarette. I'm just like. Oh, we're like that's Colter Wall.
And it was just amazing. Yeah, so he's a guy that. He plays the guitar without a pick, and it's really impressive.
He just chicken picks
so he's just going and chicken picking, and then like seamlessly goes between like strumming with his fingers to then picking, and then strumming, and then picking, and it was unbelievable. And he gets so much sound from just him, and then obviously his voice is ridiculous.
Yeah, and then. When we walked up to him, we had pulled him up on Google, and if you Google Colter Wall, the first picture's Brad Pitt from like that Jesse James movie. And I go up to him, I was like, if you Google this, Brad Pitt shows up. He's like, I ain't complaining. And then he's just like, yeah, my friend texted me. I was like, what the fucking shit is this?
Yeah.
He was super nice and like.
Yeah, he was super chill, and
I like that we haven't had a bad experience with meeting artists. Like Mike Ryan was super nice and down to earth. Chris Young, when we met him those years ago, if you saw on our Instagram, we posted just how we met him 2010. So that was back when he still had a cowboy hat and made good music. And then
R.I.P. in peace to music.
Yeah. And then Colter Wall yesterday. And he was just so nice and just so... kind of thankful for people being there.
It was
like,
just,
well, we knew
so
this thing
great.
would be sold out. So.
Yeah, that was the thing I thought was funny, is that he was not acting like I think it's also probably because in my mind I think of him as a much more huge like artist. He doesn't have that big of a following, I guess, but he was so chill and down to earth. I was like kind of surprised that he was so chill. Yeah. But it does make sense, I guess.
Yeah, he was super just casually walking through the crowd the entire time.
Saying hey to people, shaking people's hands, taking pictures of people, and just like really just having a drink and hanging out.
Yeah, if I were ever talented enough to become that famous, I would hope that I was that chill. But
never.
Oh yeah, I'm a dick. Anyway, yes, that concert was amazing. If you ever get a chance to see Colter Wall, even like if you're not like if you listen to his recordings, you're like, I just can't get into it. See him live; it will change your mind. Like,
absolutely.
I would like listening to him. I'm like, yeah, this voice is great. But seeing him live, seeing that voice come from that body, it's just like, I was blown away the entire concert.
Yeah, it was really amazing.
Oh, for the one other thing,
except for
for the other thing we have to talk about is the crowd. It was the second worst, in my opinion, crowd that I've ever been to. Because the first, I know I've talked about it on the podcast, is when I saw Josh Abbott with the X, however long ago, and it was a Friday night, $10 or $15 cover, and it was in a popular place where there's a lot of bars, and so a lot of people go around or out there. So people were just paying the cover to go in, and it was just a bunch of Brad and Chads who didn't know who the hell Josh Abbott was, and I was just so annoyed. But this crowd, the majority of the crowd was fine, but there was one guy.
There's just this one pocket of dudes who were like, middle-aged dudes who were getting drunk. And then we're just fucking talking to each other and just talking to each other very loudly.
Yeah, and like,
during all of the fucking
talking
show.
about what hotel they're staying in. And then some girl comes up to try and take a picture. And I hear one guy just like, oh, yeah, we're staying in separate rooms in our hotel. So, if you want to come back with one of us. I'm like, are you really being like that? Like, these guys, you could tell that they're either divorced or they've just never gotten married because they're just douchebags.
Or they're just garbage human beings and they should not be allowed in public.
Yeah, and we're not the kind of people who are just like, don't talk during the concert, where it's here for music. But if you're standing front row next to the stage shouting the entire time, it's just like,
especially in like such a small bar, like the place that we were at. It's not big. It is like the size of our living room. It
literally maxes out at 80
Yeah,
people.
it's not a big place. And so if you're going to be fucking loud and obnoxious in the front row of a place that small, what I was thinking about while they were pissing me off was my solution to this is you get one person who has the setup that the bad guy from No Country for Old Men had, where the thing that kills the air pressure thing that kills the cows, and if people are just sitting there talking, he just walks up to them, thunk in the forehead, and you're done. And that is my solution to concert talkers.
Yeah, the other one wasn't as bad. It was just the guy who just kept yelling out Caroline because he wanted to hear Caroline.
And then he heard Caroline, he freaked out.
Yeah, and then he finally shut the fuck up. Yeah. But yeah, I just hate, because it's like that one lady who shushed you at Codfish. It's like, we said something to each other. We weren't yelling. We just kind of, because when we talked to each other at the concert, we'll just kind of get up into our ear and kind of talk normal voiced so we can hear it.
So that we don't, annoy everybody around us.
And when we talk at a concert, it's just kind of like a quick, observation, then we go back to the music. We're not just sitting there talking about, so at work today, I was, just why would you go to a concert? The thing is, I was saying, I think I said it yesterday, is that they are what I call Facebook fans, where they hear that this artist is good, they know maybe a song, and then they go to sing that song and just say that they were there.
Yeah.
And when hearing that Colter Wall is a good artist who is going to sell at the bar, which he did, they go to say that they were at that concert.
Yeah.
They don't care about the music. They're not there to do that. They're just there to socialize and be like, yeah, we saw Colter Wall.
Yeah. When one of their friends brings up his name sometime later in the future, they can be like, oh, yeah, I saw him live.
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh, what was he like? Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, it was good. He had a good voice. He did an acoustic set.
I just don't understand it because, there's no venue or event or anything where, people, it's like if you were in a fucking movie theater and you were just talking the entire time. It'd be like, hey, shut the fuck up. We're here for this thing. Why are you trying to ruin this?
Yeah. But, yeah. Anyway, but outside of the douchey crowd, Colter Wall's amazing. Go see him live.
Absolutely amazing. If it comes anywhere near where you live.
Yes, yeah. And so if you're listening to us from Iowa, Des Moines is where he'll be playing with Red Shahan and Cody Jinks in 2 months. And
might have to go.
Yeah,
might have to.
We're gonna try and see what
Probably
happens.
Might have to.
Probably might.